Hey there everybody, welcome to AutoBaz, and you join me on the UK launch of the 2023 Toyota Corolla. Now, usually when I'm doing a review, I'm stood outside the car giving you a little bit of an introduction and a bit of a backstory to the car I'm reviewing. But because this is the Corolla's UK media launch, I've only got it for a couple of hours. So I'm jumping straight into the driver's seat. So, of course, with this being a midlife facelift to the Corolla, of course, when it comes to the exterior, we've had a little bit of a nip tuck in its design. Most noticeably have been the headlights. We've got this new J daytime running light design, which actually makes it very distinctive and very attractive. Much more noticeable than the pre-facelift version, unless you went for the XL and you did have those distinctive DRLs. And of course as well, yes, we do have some revisions to the bumper design, and that will depend and vary on which trim level you want to go for. And the trim levels have pretty much remained the same. We have got the icon, the design, the GR Sport, which is what I've got here, and also the top of the range XL. So that's actually quite nice that you still got the choice that you had before. And then when it comes to the interior of the car, we have had a bit of a midlife facelift as well. And the two highlights are definitely the 12.3-inch digital dashboard display, which is very clear, very easy to read when you're on the move, and it doesn't bombard you with information, and it does come with an element of customization, and it does change if you change the drive modes and go from eco, normal to sport. So yeah, things that we are pretty much used to. And then on top of the dashboard, we have now got a 10.5-inch touchscreen display, and that replaces the 8-inch display from before. And that is actually a really lovely system. It's very clear and easy to read, just like before. And the menu systems are pretty easy to operate. But yeah, those are kind of the big kind of changes to the exterior and interior of the Corolla, and they do add to a positive outcome. Now, I do want to mention as well, there are two additional colours to choose from, so a bit more variety. There is a new blue and grey to choose from, and I do like the blue actually. There's a hint of purple in there, which I do like. And of course, there's been a couple of changes to things like the alloy wheel design, as well as the seat design as well, and some of the materials used. If you do go for the top of the range car, you can still get a leather interior. So yeah, those are the kind of the headlines of the exterior and interior of the car. Those are the things you're going to notice when you're sitting in. However, this is more than just a generic midlife facelift on a car. Yes, we've got the exterior nip and tuck. Yes, we've got the improvements to technology on the interior. But it's a little bit more than that on this new Corolla. So firstly, the safety systems have been largely improved. In fact, you could probably put the safety systems of the new Corolla next to the ones on a new Lexus, and they'd be pretty much identical. So that's a big bonus if safety is important to you. Secondly, we've now got a new hybrid system in the Corolla. We've actually got Toyota's 5th generation hybrid system setup. So what that means is that we've got, the same battery and petrol engines available, a 1.8 and a 2 litre, but the battery itself is 14% lighter than before, but it's actually 14% more powerful and efficient, which is a massive thing, because if you're going for a Toyota Corolla, efficiency is one of the big headline figures that you're going to be going for. But that also means performance is improved as well. So you still get the 1.8 and 2 litre petrol engines, but the 1.8, which did have before 120 brake horsepower, now has 140. And the 2 litre, which had 180 brake horsepower, is up to 196. So again, we've got some boosts there when it comes to power, and we have got some boosts as well when it comes to 0 to 60 times and performance, and I'll put them on the screen now for you. And I'll also put on the MPG and economies, because I've not got them to hand for me to kind of reel off, but I'll put them on screen. But I mean, I was massively impressed with the 1.8 I had about 2.5 years ago, where I averaged 64.4 miles per gallon driving from Crawley to Milton Keynes. I absolutely loved that performance that was there for me. And it's only gotten better here in this latest generation. So if you are after a frugal and economical hybrid hatchback or estate car, again, you're not going to go wrong with the Corolla. So of course we've got the increase in power and we've got the improvements in performance. So what does that mean though in terms of actually driving? So let's go on to the ride first, and that is just sublime. I mean, I remember when I drove the Corolla a couple of years ago, I was hugely impressed by it. I mean, it wasn't necessarily a magic carpet, but it had independent suspension, so it dealt with all the bumps and imperfections on the road really nicely. And as a result, it just absorbed the bumps. I mean, sometimes you could hear them, but you couldn't really feel them. And I just feel like there's been improvements to the suspension setup on this new Corolla. It just seems to just drive beautifully. It just rides really well. It absorbs the bumps. You can hear them, but you can't really feel them unless you hit a massive pothole or manhole cover. But I mean, even then, the jolt and the boom is really not that bad. Yeah, it is sublime. I really do love the ride of the Corolla, and that's the pre-facelift. This is just even better still. But when it comes to things like driving around town and that, because with these hybrids, that's where really this car comes into its own. Yes, you're driving around in EV mode, it's lovely and quiet, but actually what you get now with that increase in performance and increase in power, you've also got now as well with the changing of the ECUs, they've all been tweaked in that, is you've got a more responsive throttle. So driving around town, if you need to put your foot down, it's just instantly there. It's very lovely to feel, and it actually makes the Corolla feel like a really nice and nippy car. The 0 to 60 time of this particular car is about 9.1 seconds, so it's not exactly a hot hatch, but that's not the figure I'm impressed with. In fact, I'm just impressed with the kind of 0 to 30 miles per hour kind of feeling that the car gives you, and it just adds to that nippiness, the fact that you've got the hybrid system and everything just kind of very quickly helping you out and getting you going. So that's something I actually really do love. Driving around town like I am now in the traffic, this has been an absolute joy. And then we move on to the handling, which again was a highlight on the Corolla when I reviewed it a couple of years ago. It felt really nice to chuck into corners. Now again, of course, yes, because of the CVT gearbox, because of the power that was available, it didn't feel like a hot hatch, but it just felt light and lively and just felt like a lovely car to chuck into bends. And as a result of driving this one, because it still feels like a lovely handling car, oh, I'm just wishing again, you know, we could have that GR Corolla here. I mean, I know I'm in the GR Sport, but there are no improvements to performance. It's just all pretty much aesthetic. But yeah, it just means that you know that that chassis and drive chain can handle a hell of a lot more and can just give you a really nice feeling. And it's something that I'm enjoying in this facelifted Corolla. So the steering has got a lightness to it, but at the same time, it's got a nice feel. I can just kind of turn it into the corner. It remains pretty flat and pretty planted as well. But it's, you know, it's light enough so that you can chuck it about with ease and you can park it like an absolute doddle. It's really simple and easy. But at the same time, it's not too light that it feels like a video game, that you're not connected to the front wheels. The handling, the drivetrain, everything like that just all seem to work really well together. I mean, they did before and they just do even more so now. And because we've now got that improvement with that initial foot down performance and responsiveness, it does mean now, again, the Corolla just gets improved all over. yeah, it's actually, I mean, I've only got it for a couple of hours, but I'm getting a lovely feel to what the Corolla is like, or this, 2023 Corolla is like, and it's all good. So of course, with any kind of midlife facelift, there has been a bit of a revision to the pricing. So this new 2023 Corolla starts at £30,000. So it is a little bit of a price increase from the pre-facelift, and also it does mean it's now directly in the firing line to the Honda Civic Hybrid. Right. So just like the pre-facelift, we still get a CVT gearbox, and it still feels very much like a CVT gearbox. If I put my foot down, yes, we do get that initial surge of revs. However, because we've now got that increase in power, it doesn't feel like it's all show and no go. There is actually a bit of oomph behind the noise, which is actually something a lot of drivers of the Corolla, I think, are really going to appreciate. So that's something I actually do like about it. I mean, if I put my foot down now, yeah, there you go. I'll stop that now because I'm blinded by the sun. But it now feels like you're going somewhere, whereas before, with 120 brake horsepower, you put your foot down and just, yeah, you can hear a lot of the engine, but not much is happening. In this, yeah, finally the Corolla has a decent amount of poke, which does mean that you can do things like overtake and, set off from the lights or a junction with a bit of oomph, and you can enjoy it. Now, I am going to quickly mention, because I'm actually on the return leg of this drive to get the car back to Toyota, and I can tell you I've averaged around 53.3 miles per gallon, which I'm actually very impressed with, because I've been going up and down a few hills. I've been not driving like Miss Daisy or her grandmother. I've actually been driving this in a variety of ways to try and see what the engine performance is like, to see how responsive it is. So I am really impressed by that. And if I kind of go through the menu, I can let you know that I've now gone to 72% of this drive has been in electric. Wow. And I've been driving at this moment in time for an hour and 50 minutes. So yeah, I'm really impressed by that. It's another tick in the box for the Corolla. It really is that efficient hybrid hatchback. But then again, Toyota know about these things. They've been doing hybrids for donkey's years. So what are my thoughts on this first media drive of the revised 2023 Corolla? Well, I'm hugely impressed with it. I think Toyota have really kind of gone to town on the areas where, perhaps the pre-facelifted Corolla was lacking, especially against some of its newer rivals. I did say when I drove the Honda Civic that I did prefer it to the Corolla, but I think now with this kind of boost in performance and efficiency, comfortable, lovely to drive, relaxing, family hatchback, or estate car, because the estate is still available, or the touring, as Toyota call it, available to you. But you've just got the added safety tech. Yes, you've got some minor tweaks when it comes to styling, but you've got the improved tech and safety, which a lot of families are going to be after. So I think if you have got the current Corolla or pre-facelifted Corolla, I think you're going to enjoy the step up into this new version. I think you're going to notice the tweaks that are there, and you're going to benefit from them as well. Comparing it to the Honda Civic, I don't know. I'm not sure if I could give you a proper answer. I think they are both brilliant hatchbacks in their own right. So yeah, I can't really give an answer on that one, because I do love both cars. But the improvements to things like the hybrid system, the efficiency, the ride just feels so lovely and sublime, like it did before. I mean, this is, yeah, just an absolutely gorgeous hatchback. I really do like it. But I just can't say if I'd have this or a Civic. That's how good these are both. Yeah, that's a tough one. So everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this first drive review of the new Corolla. As always, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon to let you know when I, Dave the Auto Bear, bring out a new video. If you've got any questions about this new Corolla, please put them down in the comment section below and I will do my utmost to answer for you. Of course, I'm on social media as well. I'm on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, so don't forget to follow on there as well. But in the meantime, have yourselves a great day and I will catch you all in the next video. So take care everybody, and bye-bye.